This Operation Outreach is not going to be hard to do. Rocky and Hank are going to share with us next week how we can all do evangelism in a natural way. The statistics show that you can spend tens of thousands of dollars, put on a great big show, and get 1 to 2% return on people that come. Why? Because most come for the show. Most come to eat your cookies, enjoy your music. It's all right. That's all right. I'm going to say it anyway. And then after they eat your milk and cookies, and after they use up all your music stuff, and after they've talked and smiled and said, "Yeah, we'll be back next Sunday," you won't ever see them again. Why? You're knocking on the wrong door. Statistics show that if we'll meet people one-on-one, something like, 70%, Rocky, will actually come to church. They'll actually come back. Imagine that. Grassroots evangelism. Walking into Samaria to talk to somebody that you wouldn't ordinarily talk to. What you think about your circle? I'm closing. What you think about your circle of life? People in your circle. I want you to think about the people that you consider the most unsavable, the most obnoxious, the most argumentative, the most anti. Did you ever ask yourself why those people are like that? Did you know that the Samaritan woman could not help that she was a Samaritan? I'm going to lose some of you right here, I can tell. She could not help she was born a Samaritan. She didn't ask to be part of the rejected crowd. She knew nothing else. All she knew was the stories of her people and how they'd been rejected, and then seen that rejection from the Jews for herself. There's a ton of people out there. I know because I still move amongst them every once in a while. There's a ton of people out there that appear to be heathen on the outside and want you to think they are. But as soon as you talk to them just a little bit, dig just a little bit, they're as curious and as interested and as desirous to get to know God as a lot of so-called church people sitting in a church. But because of their past. Well, I've been in jail for 3 years. Well, I've done dope. I'm doing dope. I've been known to be pretty loose. They think that there's no place for them in the church. And I believe in these last days, the Lord's telling us to go out in the hedges and the highways to bring them into a party, a Holy Ghost party. Now, my thing is this. I got two things going on in me right now. I want the Holy Ghost party to bring them into. You with me? Don't advertise what you don't have. The Lord taught me that years ago. We were in Pigeon Forge. I'm good. I got 4 minutes. We were in Pigeon Forge years ago, and they put this new line of shops up. And I drove by, and there was this shop that had this huge, the sign was 2-3 stories tall, and 2 great big doors going in the front of it. And it was all painted up, and it was something about outdoors, and I got all excited, and I had to go in there, and I told Jill we're going to turn around and go back because I have to go in there to see that. And I went back, and I got it, and I was all excited, and I walked through those big double doors in what I thought was this huge warehouse, and it ended up being, I'm not lying to you, it ended up being a store about half the size of this room right here. And the racks were half empty. Hank, I was mad. I was ticked. And they knew I was ticked because I walked in, I looked around, and I went, "You have got to be kidding me," and turned around and walked back out. And as soon as I got back in the car, the Lord said, "Learn this. Don't ever advertise what you can't put forth." Now we're there, and this is the prophet coming out in me, but it's time this body got on its face to acquire what we say we believe. We agree that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. We agree that He is the soon coming King. It's time we started acting like it and not just agreeing about it. Second thing is this. We're going to have to get tough in the spirit. We're in war. We're at war. In case you didn't know it, you're at war. But you've been called to this war. Every one of you in here. Everyone in here today. I'm looking around. This is pretty much a hometown. This is home folks this morning. And I want you to know something. Every one of you in here, I believe, are ordained of God to be in this house at this time and in this place. Or you wouldn't be here. Now, because this is a young church, if God's doing something, which I believe He is, and we're not budding yet, but we've sprouted. The devil knows that he's got to take us out now, because once we get up out of the ground a little bit better and our roots go down a little bit better, it's going to get gooder and gooder in here. And there's actually going to be a tree that's going to take root, and there's going to be fruit start popping out on branches.